Welcome back to the deep dive. We grab those sources, pull out the key stuff, the knowledge you really need.
Yep.
Today, we're tackling something huge if you're, trying to build something new. How to actually use social media ads, specifically Facebook ads, to get that startup growth going.
Right. We're diving into this guide, the beginner's guide to Facebook ads. Boost your startup business growth fast.
And our mission really is to unpack this, find the core strategies, the stuff you can actually do, the proven hacks.
So you can cut through all that noise online, right?
Yeah.
Get noticed, even if you don't have a massive budget or like tons of ad experience yet.
Exactly. Because just being on social media isn't enough now, is it? You've got to actively leverage it.
No way.
And, while we're focusing on this Facebook ads guide today, it kind of highlights a broader thing. Entrepreneurs are always looking for any edge online.
Oh, definitely.
We've even seen mentions of tools like rapidboost.net. Apparently, thousands are using it to boost their social profiles, get more visibility.
Right. It just shows people are exploring all sorts of ways to, well, amplify their impact. It's a crowded space.
It really is.
Yeah.
So let's dive into why this guide positions Facebook ads as such a game changer for startups.
Okay, yeah. So the first big thing the guide hits on is just the scale. We're talking, 2.9 billion monthly active users. Huge.
Billions, okay. But is it just about shouting into a huge crowd?
No, that's the key insight. It's not just the reach, it's the precision that comes with it. That's the game changer.
Precision. Okay, so how precise are we talking? Like if I'm a startup founder watching every single penny.
It means you're not just guessing. Facebook lets you get incredibly granular. Demographics, sure, but also interests, online behaviors, even like major life events, getting married, moving house.
Wow.
So you can put your ad right in front of the people who are most likely to actually need or want what you're offering.
And that Loom deodorant example in the guide, that really makes it click, doesn't it?
It really does. Such a great case study. Here's this natural deodorant brand. They didn't try to reach everyone. They focused. Health-conscious women, specific age group, 25-50, just in the U.S.
Okay.
And the kicker, they started with only $500. $500. And got a 3x return on that spend. Built brand awareness super fast.
That's incredible. So
Yes.
it wasn't luck, it was that laser focus.
Exactly. Targeted relevance. That's what drives the results.
Which brings us to the next crucial point for startups. Money. Budgets are always tight. Is this actually cost-effective?
Hugely. That's maybe one of the biggest takeaways from the guide. You have total control. You can literally start with, say, $5 a day. Seriously.
$5.
Yeah. And you only scale up when you see something's actually working. Plus, you only pay for results. Clicks, views, messages, or the big one, conversions, like someone actually buying something.
Okay, so you're not just paying for eyeballs that might not care.
Precisely. It's performance-based. And the guide emphasizes using A/B testing, comparing different versions of your ad. That stops you from just burning cash on stuff that doesn't resonate.
Right, testing is built in.
And that leads to the analytics, the instant feedback. This is where you really start optimizing.
Tell me more about that. What do you actually see?
Inside the Ads Manager, you see everything in real time. Who you're reaching, how many times they see the ad, are they clicking, are they converting, what's it costing you per result?
So you know immediately if something's working or not.
Exactly. The guide points out this lets you make quick adjustments based on actual data, not just gut feelings, even if you're totally new to this.
Okay, so you've got this massive reach, but it's targeted. You control the cost, pay for results, and you get instant data to tweak things. Sounds powerful.
It really is. But the guide is very clear. Before you even think about launching an ad, you got to get the foundations right, the setup.
The boring but essential stuff, like the Facebook Business Manager.
Exactly. Don't skip this. The guide calls it your campaign headquarters, and it's spot on. It's this free hub where you manage everything, your ad accounts, your pages, the
I
pixel,
looked at the pixel, yeah.
and who on your team can access what. Getting this right from the start saves so much hassle later.
Right, avoids that tangled mess down the line.
Totally. It's about being organized and secure. So, in Business Manager, you link your Facebook page, that's, the public face people see on your ads, to your ad account. And make sure that page looks professional. Fill out all the details.
Makes sense. It's your shop window, basically. What about payment and team roles?
Simple, but critical. Add your payment method, a credit card, PayPal, whatever works. And if you've got colleagues helping out, set their permission levels clearly in Business Manager.
Yeah, you don't want someone accidentally deleting a campaign.
Exactly. Prevents mistakes, keeps things secure.
Okay, foundation's laid. Business Manager set up, page linked, payment sorted. Now for the fun part. actually building that first campaign. The guide says the very first decision is the objective.
Absolutely fundamental. This tells Facebook's algorithm what you actually want to achieve. It's not just a label. It shapes who sees your ad.
So it's more than just clicking boost post.
Oh, way more. The guide practically begs you not to just boost posts randomly. You need a specific goal. Is it sales, getting leads,
Yeah.
driving traffic to your website, awareness?
Gotcha. So if I sell, I don't know, handmade jewelry online, I'd pick sales or conversions.
Exactly. The algorithm then goes hunting for people who are likely to actually buy something. If you're, say, a B2B software company offering a free demo.
Then lead generation maybe. Or traffic to the sign-up page.
Perfect. That's exactly right. The objective aligns the whole campaign.
And that SaaS startup example they used for lead generation was pretty telling.
Yeah, it was great. They were targeting HR managers, offering a useful free resource. They picked the lead generation objective.
And the result.
Grew their email list by 600% in a month. And the cost per lead was just $1. Shows you how powerful matching the objective to your goal is.
Okay, objective set. Now, the targeting, you mentioned is precise, but how deep does it go?
Oh, it's Facebook's superpower, really. Beyond the basics, location, age, gender, language, you can layer on interests, like people interested in vegan cooking if you sell plant-based foods.
Okay.
You can target based on behaviors, job titles, purchase history, device usage, even things like frequent travelers. And then there are lookalike audiences.
What are those?
That's where it gets really smart. You give Facebook a list of your existing customers, maybe your best ones, and it finds new people who share similar characteristics. Super powerful for scaling.
Wow. That sounds like you could get loss tweaking options forever.
Yeah.
What's the advice? Start broad or narrow?
Definitely start narrow, the guide advises. Don't try to reach everyone at first. Define your ideal customer really tightly.
Why narrow first?
Because a super relevant audience is more likely to engage, click, and convert, often at a lower cost. You can always broaden out later once you see who's responding. Avoid that mistake of targeting like everyone aged 1865 in the whole country.
Right, focus first. Okay, so you know who you're talking to. Now you need to actually say something or show something that stops them scrolling. The creative.
Huge. You've got maybe, 2 seconds in the feed? The guide stresses bold visuals, images, or even better, video. Short, punchy headlines.
Get straight to the point.
Exactly. And the ad copy needs to instantly communicate your unique value. Why should they care? Why click your ad? What's in it for them?
And since everyone's on their phone.
Mobile first. Always, always designed for mobile. The guide says over 90% of impressions happen on mobile devices.
90%.
Yeah. So make sure text on images is big enough, videos work vertically if possible. Simple stuff, but easy to mess up.
Okay, objective, audience, creative. Check, check, check. Now, the guide talks about this thing called the pixel. Sounds kind of techie, but seems crucial.
It is absolutely crucial. The Facebook pixel, think of it as this tiny, invisible piece of code you put on your website. The guide calls it a secret growth ingredient. And honestly, it really is. Non-negotiable if you're serious.
What does this secret ingredient actually do?
Okay, 3 main things. 1, it tracks people who come to your site from your Facebook ads. This lets you do retargeting, showing ads, again, specifically to people who visited but didn't buy, for example.
Following up with interested
That's
people.
2. It tracks conversions. Did someone make a purchase? Fill out a form. Sign up for a newsletter. It tells Facebook what success looks like for you so the algorithm can find more people likely to do that same thing.
Okay, optimizing for results.
Right. And 3, it gathers data over time that helps you build those custom audiences and lookalike audiences we talked about earlier. It fuels future targeting.
So you get this code snippet from where? Events Manager in Business Manager.
Yep, inside Business Manager. And you need to install it on basically all your key website pages, product pages, landing pages, thank you pages, after purchase. Get it done early. You need that data flowing.
Got it. Pixel installed. Let's talk money again, budgeting and bidding. Startup founder, sweating bullets about wasting cash. What's the starting point?
Start small. Seriously small. The guide suggests maybe $5, maybe $20 per day per audience you're testing.
Per audience, not total.
Right, because the goal initially isn't massive spend, it's learning. Test a few different audiences or ad variations with small budgets. See what works. Then put more money behind the winners.
Makes sense. Test small-scale winners. What about typical costs?
The guide mentions average cost per click, maybe $0 to $20 to $2 sometimes, but honestly, good targeting can often beat those averages significantly.
And how long do you need to run these tests?
Give it time. The guide recommends at least a week, 7 days, for a test to gather enough data to be meaningful. Don't judge after just one day.
Okay, patience. What about bidding? Automatic versus manual?
For most people starting out, the guide recommends sticking with automatic bidding. Facebook calls it lowest cost, or similar names now. Basically, you set your budget, Facebook tries to get you the most results possible within that budget.
And manual?
That's more advanced. For experienced folks trying to hit specific cost goals or ensure they show up in top placements, maybe in a really competitive niche, start with auto.
Right, and there's this learning phase. What's that about?
Yeah, that's important. When you launch a new ad set, Facebook needs time to figure out the best way to deliver your ads. It's testing who responds best, what time of day, which placements work.
So the learning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It usually needs around 50 conversions, whatever your goal is, sales, leads before it exits this phase, and performance stabilizes. The key is don't make drastic changes during the learning phase unless something is really broken. Let it run its course.
Okay, patience again. That fitness startup example they gave.
Yeah.
Testing with a small budget seemed really effective there.
Totally. They spent just $250 testing, like 3 different ads and 2 audiences over 2 weeks. And by finding the best combo, they got signups for 75 cents each, which was apparently half the industry average then. It just proves you don't need a huge budget to find winners, just a smart testing approach.
Which flows perfectly into the next section. Tracking, testing, optimizing. This isn't just set and forget. This is where the real growth happens, right?
This is the engine room. Ongoing work. First step. Define success clearly. Set up those key conversion events in Events Manager we mentioned with the Pixel.
Good.
Purchases, leads added to cart, whatever matters most.
So Facebook knows what good looks like.
Precisely. That lets the algorithm optimize properly and gives you the data to make smart decisions. It moves you from guesswork to being data-driven.
And A/B testing or split testing sounds essential.
Absolutely non-negotiable for improvement. Facebook has built-in tools for this. Test one thing at a time headline, A versus headline B, image X versus image Y, audience 1 versus audience 2.
Keep it simple.
Yes, and let the data tell you which one performs better. The guide makes the point that even small wins here can dramatically improve your results, maybe double your click-through rate or cut your cost per lead in half.
Okay, so test constantly. But what numbers should you actually be watching in that Ads Manager dashboard? It can look overwhelming.
Good question. The guide highlights the key ones. Reach, impressions, how many times seen, CTR, click-through rate vital, your cost per result, like cost per purchase or lead, and ROAS, return on ad spend.
What do they tell you?
They paint the picture. Like, if your CTR is really low, below 1% maybe, your ad creative probably isn't grabbing attention. You need to change the visual or the headline.
Okay.
If your cost per result is creeping up, maybe your audience isn't quite right anymore, or your landing page isn't converting well, high ROAS means you're making good money back on your spend.
So you monitor these regularly and adjust.
Constantly. Be ready to pivot fast based on what the numbers are telling you. That online wellness brand example was perfect for this.
Remind me of that one.
They were getting clicks, but sales were poor. They dug into the analytics and saw people were dropping off like crazy during checkout, specifically on mobile phones. The insight. Their checkout wasn't mobile friendly. They fixed it, made a mobile optimized landing page and checkout. Boom. Tripled sales in the next campaign. Data found the problem. Optimization solved it.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got things working, you're optimizing. How do you scale this up? How do you future-proof?
This is where all that data you collected with the Pixel really pays off. First, big tool. Lookalike audiences.
We touched on those. Find people similar to my best customers.
Exactly. You upload your customer list, Facebook's algorithm analyzes their characteristics, and then finds new users across the platform who look just like them demographically and behaviorally. It's an amazing way to find new, high-potential customers you wouldn't have found otherwise. Automates expansion.
Cool. What else for scaling?
Retargeting.
Yeah.
Absolutely essential for maximizing ROI. The guide points out something crazy. Only like 2-5% of people buy on their very first website visit.
Wow, that low.
Yeah. So what about the other 95-98% who showed interest but left? Retargeting lets you show them specific ads later, remind them what was in their cart, offer a small discount, show testimonials.
Because they're already warm leads?
Exactly. They know you. Converting them is often much, much cheaper than acquiring a totally new customer. The guide suggests it can sometimes halve your cost per acquisition.
Okay, lookalikes and retargeting. Anything else?
Embracing different ad formats. Specifically, the guide calls out video and messenger ads.
Boy, those.
Video is just huge for engagement and building trust. Think behind-the-scenes stuff, product demos, founder stories. It feels more authentic. Messenger ads let you start direct conversations, which is great for generating leads or even customer support. They often get higher click-through rates, too. Don't just stick to static image ads.
Mix it up. Okay, this has been incredibly comprehensive. The guide seems to pack a ton of actionable advice. How does it wrap things up? Any key action steps?
Yeah, it boils down to basically 7 key steps to apply right now. Consider this your checklist.
Okay, lay 'em on me.
1. Set up that business manager. Connect your page and ad account, your foundation.
Got it.
2. Define a crystal clear campaign goal. What do you actually want people to do?
Objective first.
Right. 3. Craft irresistible, creative, and laser focus your audience. Start small and specific, remember? 4. Start with a modest budget. Measure everything. Use A/B testing. Scale based on data, not hope.
Test and learn.
5. Install the Facebook pixel. Like yesterday, you need that data.
Crucial.
6. Iterate constantly. Optimize based on your analytics. Then expand using lookalikes and retargeting.
Keep refining.
And 7. Stay curious. Facebook changes. Audiences change. Never stop testing. Never stop learning.
That's a fantastic summary. It really drives home that this isn't just about boosting posts, it's a whole strategic system.
It really is. It takes work, meticulous setup, thoughtful creative, smart targeting, and just relentless optimization, as the guide puts it.
But the potential payoff for startup growth seems massive.
Definitely. And the good news is, every campaign you run, even if it doesn't knock it out of the park, builds data, builds insights, builds your confidence for the next one.
Right.
These tactics are your launch pad.
So test bravely, analyze everything, scale wisely.
Couldn't say it better.
It leaves you thinking, doesn't it? With all this targeting power and knowing how competitive the feed is,
Yeah.
how can you constantly test and refine your message so it truly connects, so it feels authentic, and really makes your startup story stand out to that very specific person you're trying to reach?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Something to keep wrestling with.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into mastering Facebook ads for startup growth. We'll catch you next time.